I woke up for no clear reason. There was no nightmare, no loud sound. I just opened my eyes. The clock on the wall read around 3 in the morning. The room was dark, but I could still make out the shapes around me. The wardrobe, the door, the pale-colored walls. I tried to move, couldn't. I immediately knew what was happening. My body felt heavy, locked in place. My breathing was shallow, but I could still breathe. Sleep paralysis, I thought. I'd experienced it once before, though never this intensely. I stared straight at the wall across from my bed, trying to distract myself and wait for my body to move again. Then, I saw something shift. At first, I thought it was just a shadow, maybe light spilling in from outside the window, but the shadow moved against the direction of the light. Slowly, very slowly, there was something on the wall. The shape was long and stretched out, like a living black stain. It crept upward from the lower corner of the wall, clinging to it as if the wall were its floor. Its movement wasn't rushed. It was far too calm, as if it knew I couldn't go anywhere. I wanted to turn my face away. I wanted to close my eyes, but I couldn't. The shadow kept rising, then began to change shape. What had once looked like a stain slowly formed the silhouette of a human body. Tall, too tall to be normal. Its arms stretched unnaturally long. Its joints bent the wrong way, as if its bones didn't follow human rules. Its head, I couldn't see its face. No eyes, no mouth, just a dark, featureless head. It stopped on the wall, perfectly level with my bed. And then, it started to come down. Not jumping, not walking, crawling. Its arms and legs folded at impossible angles as it crawled down the wall to the floor, then slowly began moving toward the bed. Every movement felt wrong, too smooth, too silent. My throat went dry. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure I could hear it. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I tried to move my fingers, but my body remained frozen. As it drew closer, I realized something that made the fear even worse. It wasn't in a hurry, as if it were savoring every second of me being trapped there. It stopped right beside the bed, then slowly leaned its body toward me. Its head lowered, inching closer to my face. I couldn't see its eyes, but I knew it was staring at me. At that moment, the pressure on my chest grew heavier. My breath caught. My vision began to blur. I truly thought this was going to be the last thing I ever saw. With the last of my awareness, I tried one final thing, biting down on my own tongue, hoping the pain would force me awake. And it worked. I jolted awake, gasping for air. My body could finally move. I sat up immediately and turned on the light. The room was empty. There were no marks on the wall, no shadows, no sign that anything had ever been there. But I didn't sleep again that night. And to this day, I can't sleep facing a wall anymore, because I'm afraid that if I look there, something might be waiting to crawl down again. I never believed in anything supernatural, at least not until that night. That night was completely ordinary. I went to bed a little later than usual, exhausted after work. No nightmares, no strange feelings before falling asleep. I only remember closing my eyes and then waking up, or at least I thought I woke up. My eyes were open, staring at the dark ceiling of my room. The lights were off, with only a faint glow coming in from outside the window. The clock on my bedside table showed it was past midnight. I was fully aware. I could think. I could see. But my body wouldn't move at all. I tried to wiggle my fingers. Nothing. I tried to turn my head. Nothing. I tried to take a deeper breath, and my chest felt heavy, as if something were pressing down on it. That's when I felt another presence in the room. First, it was just a feeling, like when you know someone is standing near you even before you see them. My skin prickled instantly. My heart began to race, but my body remained completely locked. Slowly, My gaze shifted toward the foot of the bed, and that's when I saw it. A small figure, about the height of a child. Its body was pitch black, not like a normal shadow, but more like a hole in the darkness shaped like a human. There were no facial details, no eyes I could see, but I knew it was looking at me. The figure was standing directly on my bed, not on the floor, not beside it, on the mattress, far too close. I wanted to scream. I tried to open my mouth to call out to anyone, but no sound came out. My mouth felt locked, just like the rest of my body. All that escaped was a weak, breathy sound. I could barely hear myself. Fear turned into panic. There was only one thought in my head. This is real. It's actually here. The figure didn't move. It didn't come closer. It didn't step away. It just stood there, staring. Time slowed to a crawl. Every second felt like a full minute. The room seemed to shrink around me. The pressure on my chest grew heavier, my breath shorter. I was certain that if this lasted any longer, I would pass out, or worse. I gathered every ounce of strength I had for one single purpose: to scream, not to wake up, not to move, just to make one sound. With the last of my strength and fear, I forced my throat to move, and finally, a sound came out, soft, hoarse, almost like a groan, but it was enough. In an instant, my body felt light. I could move again. I shot upright, gasping for air, my heart pounding violently, and the figure was gone. No footsteps, no retreating shadow, no sign of anything at all. The room was empty again. I turned on the light and searched every corner. There was no one there, nothing, but the fear remained. My hands were shaking, and I couldn't fall back asleep until morning. The most terrifying part wasn't the figure itself. It was the fact that the experience felt far too real to be called a dream. And ever since that night, every time I wake up in the middle of the night, the very first thing I do is make sure I can still move. I've experienced sleep paralysis before, so when it happened again, I thought I was prepared. I wasn't. That night, I fell asleep on my back. My body felt exhausted, but my mind was calm. No nightmares, no strange premonitions. I just woke up in the middle of the night, or at least I felt like I woke up. My eyes were open. The room was dark, silent. I could see the wardrobe. I could see the bedroom door. Everything looked normal. Then I tried to move. Couldn't. My body felt heavy, as if it were glued to the mattress. I immediately realized what was happening. Sleep paralysis again. I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself. I told myself, relax. This is just sleep paralysis. Just wait it out. It will pass. That's when I felt it. A touch. Not imagination. Not a vague sensation. It was real. Something was touching my back. I couldn't see it, but I felt it clearly, like several long, cold hands crawling over my body. The pressure was light at first, then slowly grew stronger. It felt like flexible fingers, not stiff like human ones. My arms began to tingle. My breathing stuttered. Then the pressure shifted to my chest. It felt like I was being held from behind, my body wrapped in something, but not in a comforting way. It was more like a coil, like a snake tightening around me, little by little. Panicked, I tried to scream, but my mouth wouldn't open. I tried to kick, but my legs didn't respond. My mind was screaming, but my body betrayed me. The most terrifying part, I could feel more than one hand. Not two, not three. It was as if there were many things behind me, moving slowly, adjusting their positions, making sure I couldn't break free. I started to run out of air. The pressure on my chest grew heavier and heavier. I was certain that if it lasted any longer, I wouldn't be able to breathe at all. My head filled with a single thought: I'm going to die here. I never saw any creature, no shadow, no figure, and somehow that made it even worse, because whatever it was, it didn't need to be seen to feel real. I gathered every last bit of strength I had and tried one final thing. Moving my tongue, just a little, and somehow, I did it. A sound came out, not a scream, not words, just a rough, choking noise. In a single second, all the pressure vanished. My body felt light. I rolled over immediately, gasping for air, cold sweat pouring down my skin. My heart was pounding like it was about to burst out of my chest. There was no one in the room, no handprints, no signs of anything at all. But that crushing pressure, I can still remember it clearly to this day. Since that night, I've never slept on my back again. And every time I feel my body starting to grow heavy as I wake up, panic hits instantly, because I know that if it happens again, I might not be as lucky as I was that night.